NHADCH 12.14 years later. Phew, I'm tired. I'm sitting in my exclusive research and development room on the church's second floor, finally finished crafting the structural formula for the A5-sized metal sheet. Staring at the blueprints laid on my desk, I stretch my back, rubbing my stiff shoulder. The finished drawings number 10 sheets in total. Once I let the special magic power-infused ink dry off for a day, the first phase of the operation will be completed. Since this is an integral part of the hot-blooded alarm, with built-in explosive function, no. 8. I can't slack off. If I mess up even one pattern or letter, there's a chance that it will explode. And when that happens, I'm afraid not only I'll get hurt, but my surroundings too. Since the demons are coated in miasma and magic essence with a nature that's different from the rest of the world, if I want to inflict any damage to them, I need to craft the structural formula of the defensive gadgets by hand. Imagine the headache if I make a mistake, and the hot-blooded alarm suddenly reacts with humans and animals instead. For that reason, structural formula crafting requires extreme precision. After this, I need to make its source of power, a stone infused with magic essence called the Magic Origin Stone. It's pretty much like a battery. I'll assemble it in a waterproof box and test it. If there are no problems, then it's finished. Talking about magic essence, I can only directly charge it, This time, I need to pace myself and take care so that I won't collapse from magic exhaustion. From the half-opened window blows a gentle breeze. As I peer outside, I catch sight of mountains in the distance, the trees in the garden painted pleasant shades of green. Between these trees is one with peach-colored flowers similar to the shade of cherry blossoms. But the shape of the flowers resemble red lilies, making it a bit peculiar, auspicious or unlucky. All in all, it's a weird tree. Why don't you just copy the flower shape of cherry blossoms? Do you want to seem unique or something? I definitely don't need that kind of attention to detail. I'll be happier with the usual cherry blossoms. Since then, 4 years pass. I am currently 16 years old. At the spring of next year, I will graduate from the municipal school. And then this long school life will finally come to an end. Sadly, even now, the goddess has yet to contact me. I wonder why. As I've thought, something must have happened. Since I have no means of contacting her from here, I spend my days at the church praying things like, "Since you're the one who urgently contacted me first, don't you think you should come and talk to me and take responsibility? Just talk to me already or I will seriously get mad and sue you, damn it." Anyway, the future hero is growing well. As the result of my secret teaching, he's now strong in both sword and magic, to the point that even the teacher can't beat him. Well, he's still no match for me, though. It's just that, since things have become pretty dangerous lately, I've worked even harder on my fencing so that he won't beat me in a fight. As such, the energy I have left for researching the structural formulas is very limited. But until he graduates from the municipal school, no way will he overpower me. The height that used to be the same as mine steadily advances, and just like that, he's become taller than me by one head. He seems the type to suddenly grow up in a late growth spurt. His muscles have also developed properly, giving him the appearance of a young man. On the other hand, my height completely stopped. No, that's wrong. What am I saying? It hasn't stopped. Definitely not. At the previous physical examination, didn't I grow 5 millimeters taller? I still have signs of growth. That's right. That must be it. Alright, let's think of more productive topics. First of all, there's still many events in the arc. Especially those related to school. I open the diary plus record book that I have on me. I flip through it, searching for a page smack between several labels and notes. The page where I've recorded notes for some of the events. Yep. There's still one school event left. It's the school fencing contest, the last school lesson in which Leanne will play an important role, a serious competition where we use real swords. During this event, a lot of important people from the Royal Capital's Knight Academy will come to scout the students. So it's a pretty important contest. Social class doesn't matter. Anyone can get a recommendation as long as their results are incredible. Therefore, students who desire to be knights will desperately practice and strive the best. Of course, Leanne also dreamed of having a successful career in the royal capital, so he'd try his best as well. Commanding officers from the Royal Knights Order will also take a look at the competition. If students happen to catch their attention, that's a guaranteed job upon graduating from the Knight Academy. As long as they are assigned to a night squadron under the direct command of the Royal Knights Order, such as the Imperial Guard Squad or the Royal Knight Squad, their future is set. Since they'll be assigned only to the royal capital, the job is easy and has a large salary. Not to mention a cushy pension and respect from the public galore. Leon's father also works in the capital, so Leon's certain he'll get selected. But in society, things seldom go as one wishes. Because Leanne loses completely to Alfred in the last round. Alfred finally knocks down the annoying rival who hindered his path for such a long time. With that, the final school event is cleared. Since I just need to lose in this event, I don't have to think about anything. How great. If only it comes sooner. I mean, can't you come quicker? I want to finish my role already. Finished reviewing what's coming next, I close my diary and record book. Let's take a little break. Like what Marie has said before, if I persist too much, I'll only tire myself out and lower my efficiency. I should rest properly when it's time to rest. I take a sip from Marie's special blended tea and munch on the tea cookies that I bought Marie as a souvenir. Humming as I rise from my seat, I make my way out of the research and development room. Once I'm standing in the first floor dining room, I catch sight of Marie writing. Marie often writes, sews, and completes some church chores in the dining room. The dining room table is large and easy to use, and she has a great view of the little kids playing in the garden from the 3 large windows. Noticing me, Marie lifts her face from her documents and flashes me a smile with her apple-like cheeks. Oh my, Leanne Sama. You've worked hard. Are you taking a break? I return her smile and nod. Yes, that's right. Hee, is that so? Then I will make some delicious tea. I've also just thought of taking a break. Please wait here for a little bit, okay? That's right, how is today's blended tea? Is it to your liking? The blended tea? Yes, I really like it. Ah, Marie Sama. Now that you've mentioned it, recently I've heard an interesting story from the tea leaf shop I frequently visit. It's about a tea from the southern regions. Apparently, it's sweet even without any sugar added. Since a shipment of it will arrive next week, I will bring some next time. Oh, the tea from the south. Amazing. Sweet without any sugar, how mysterious. Hee, I'll be looking forward to it then. Yes, please look forward to it. Laughing happily, Marie heads to the kitchen. I sit in the chair and gaze out the window. 6 or 7 kids run around cheerfully in the garden, basking in the pleasant spring sunshine. They range from toddlers to elementary school children, and the slightly older boys and girls are currently kicking around a ball. As usual, the super energetic. One kid pauses after noticing me, and after he says something, the other kids turn to me simultaneously. After a while, the door leading to the courtyard swings open, and the kids rush into the dining room. It's Leanne Sama. Yay, Leanne Sama. Leanne Sama. Ma. Yes, it's pretty nice out today. Doesn't it feel good? Yeah. The kids cheer loudly and energetically. Hey, Leanne Sama. Let's play the Daruman Has Fallen together. Daruman Has Fallen. P-Way. The kids hop around me like little bunnies. Daruman Has Fallen is an outdoor game I taught 'em. Well, it's almost the same as Daruma Has Fallen. Okay, if I'm to be honest, it's completely the same. It's just that, in this world Daruma don't exist. That's why I'm replacing it with a similar sounding word that actually does exist here. Daruman, a round animal with red fur. Plus, it likes to roll. It kind of resembles a Daruma too. The rules of the game are as follows. The person playing the demon will turn the back to everyone. The other kids will spread out far away. As the demon chants Da, Ru, Man, Has, Val, Len, the rest of the kids can slowly approach. After the demon finishes chanting the words, they will quickly flip around. If they see someone moving, that person will become the next demon. Once someone finally touches the demon's back, the demon will be free to catch the other kids. In that scenario, the other kids will scatter and run away, and the unlucky person caught by the demon becomes the next demon. I don't really get it, but it is thrilling, endless, and aggressive, so it's no surprise that the kids love the game. It's now super popular among them. Okay, let's do it. Maybe it will be good to move my body a little. I've just been sitting in a chair this whole morning. Why. Hooray, let's play. The kids jump up and down in high spirits. Marie, who returns to the dining room with a tray of cups and a streaming teapot, looks at me worriedly. Oh my, Leanne Sama. You shouldn't force yourself, all right. You must be tired, right? It's okay, Marie-sama. I'll just play a little bit. It won't be a problem. Even if you say so. Thanks for making me tea. Marie-sama's tea is delicious even while cold, so can you leave a portion for me? That's fine, but, are you really alright? I'm alright. Now let's go, everyone. I stand up, heading towards the garden. 30 minutes later, I'm lying on the lawn in the courtyard. My breath comes out in harsh puffs, and my head is spinning. I completely forgot how endless children's stamina and energy are. And I also forgot how this game is supposed to be never-ending. Maybe staying up until 1:30 in the morning to think about energy-saving structural formulas and jotting down notes in my record book was a bad idea. Lian-sama, are you alright? Are you alright? Alright. I'm alright, sorry, can you let me rest a little? The kids reply with an okay and dash towards the courtyard. Those kids are too energetic. Where do they store all that energy in those little bodies? Share a little with me too. The 4 remaining kids lie down on both of my sides. Seems like they want to take a nap with me together. Since they stick close to me, I stroke their hair until it becomes disheveled, and they squeal and blush happily. I glance at my wristwatch. It's exactly 1 o'clock. There are still 2 hours until 3 o'clock tea time. Well, if I sleep for an hour, it won't be a problem, right? The soft sunlight, the high body temperature of the kids, and the breeze brushing my cheeks softly make me feel pleasant. As I take in the sensation of the soft grass beneath me, I close my eyes. I wonder what this feeling is. There's something somewhat fluffy touching my head. Soft. It smells like the sun. Even though it's soft, it doesn't feel like grass. More like the rustling texture of cloth. And then, someone strokes my head, with gentle hand, slowly. It feels good, and makes me want to shed a few tears. How many years has it been since someone has stroked my head? Many years ago. It's been too long. I wonder if it's Marie. I beg you, please don't launch a surprise attack by treating me gently. It makes me want to burst into tears without a care in the world. And depend only on you. Because my miserable side, the one who is very afraid and very close from running, will surface. When I open my eyes, I realize I'm no longer in the garden. Instead, I'm in a plain room. I feel as if I have been here before. I'm certain that I slept outside though. But now I'm lying on a bed. Why am I not sleeping on the grass? Weird. Since when did I? Quote, exclamation mark, question mark, quote. I suck in my breath. Someone's sitting below my arm. Familiar golden hair that glistens. Uncommon and clear eyes the color of the sky, which are looked down by others. A simple shirt and jean trousers as usual. It's Alfred. Eosh. WY. What are you doing here? NHADCH 12.2. Alfred shouldn't be here. According to the kids' records, the investigation of Big Brother Al's part-time schedule, shouldn't he be working at Cheddar's ranch right now? His shifts from 8 o'clock in the morning to 7 o'clock at night. In other words, he shouldn't be home until nighttime. As I think this, words of a similar nature also tumble out of my mouth. Alfred, why are you here? Didn't you go to war? I did go, but only for a while. I came home since they closed in the afternoon. That's because Cheddar-san received a letter from a relative in a neighboring village. I don't really get it, but it seems urgent, so tomorrow he has to leave no matter what. Then he hurriedly moved up his wife's birthday party that had been planned for tomorrow to today, and closed shop for the afternoon to prepare for the feast and gifts. What did you say? Wait a minute, Cheddar-san. What a devoted husband. How about you? Were you at the church since morning? How should I explain this? If I tell him I was here since morning, then how should I answer if he asks me why? I have to come up with a good reason so that he won't suspect me. My private research and development room in the church should be kept as a secret too. Since the room doesn't exist in the original plot, I can't let Alfred know about it. I can't let him know about the future events, or else it will greatly influence the development of the story. Everything I've done until now will then be rendered useless. As I'm racking my head to form an explanation, Alfred lets out a small laugh. You don't have to panic that much. It's not like I'm reproaching you. If you want to come here, then hop by as often as you want, and if you're tired then, you can use this room. This room. Ah, yes. This room is mine. Huh. So this is your room. I mean, this place is so plain. No matter how I look at it, this doesn't look like a child's room. There's nothing here. It's so empty I almost thought it's a guest room. I can't help but say, what an empty room. Ah. Since I spend most of my time outside, I rarely stay in this room. I mostly just come here to sleep. Is that so? Since you spend the majority of your time working part-time, huh? Whatever time you have left you use it to look after the children, or help out at the church. What a hard-working student, this older brother's tears are about to spill out. The gang of 3 brats and the rich spoiled kids from around here should learn from you. When I first arrived at the church, I also did not have much. It's better that I only have a few belongings from the beginning, since it's also lighter this way. Plus, I can't stay at the church forever. One day, I will move out, I will leave this place. That forced smile, those calm words. It's really unlike a child's expression. Painful for me to even watch. However, it's true that the church is not a place where one can stay forever. This is a temporary place for children without any place to go, where they can be taken care of until they are capable of living alone. Even so, although it's technically not a real family, the familial bonds formed between the children and caretaker cannot be faked. Real or not, this is a family in all intents and purposes. A place where the children can feel safe and loved. But this place where one can belong is only temporary. For that reason, a kid as smart as Alfred would naturally understand he'll have to leave this place once he's become independent. For the sake of the next batch of orphans. Studying my expression, Alfred once again breaks into laughter. Why are you making a face as if you're about to cry? Am not. Did I really make that kind of face? My goodness. I don't even know myself. This is bad. I have to focus. Is that so? Says Alfred. Then he doesn't speak anymore. For a moment, silence. The atmosphere between us grows relaxed. Comfortable. It makes me, a guy who hasn't slept for 1,000 years, start to doze off. Something flashes across his face, and Alfred lets out a laugh again, shoulders shaking. Now that I remember it, the kids love you, don't they? When I came home, those guys broke into a clamor and looked so flustered. They surrounded the sleeping you, desperately trying to hide you from me, saying things like, don't look. Don't come. They even tried to shove me away when I tried to get closer. That was really overwhelming. Thank you, everyone. You guys all worked hard keeping your promise to me. Sorry, this is my fault. I let my guard down back then. Maybe they thought I'd get angry. I did tell them not to play with the kids outside the church too much. Did you really say that? As soon as I look up, Alfred averts his eyes to gaze outside the window. It's because I don't know what will happen if they do. Even though Granny takes in all the kids that have nowhere to go, from the streets or other churches, kids like me, it doesn't mean everyone is as nice and sympathetic. A lot of people in the village just don't like people like us. So that's how it is. There's definitely a lot of kids who can't accept the orphans. Who make Lian and his friends the target of the scorn. It's sad, but most of the villagers won't willingly accept them. Not to mention, there are some who believe that the mere presence of the orphans will court calamity. That the orphans will cause trouble. Some despicable people even complain that the donations needed to keep the orphanage running keep increasing. It's those types of people that are likely to hurt the children. To hurt them when they are still very young and innocent. Certainly, once these kids grow up, things will be better, since their hearts will be able to endure more pain. Accepting someone with a questionable origin is hard. The moment I hear him calmly say those words, I look up without realizing it. That kind of, I stop myself before I can say all that I am thinking. That kind of thing. Alfred's words surprise me. I mean, it's true, right? Alfred says, turning his head to stare at me. His eyes are calm blue, unreadable. No, they're different from usual. Darker. The depths of his eyes are gradually corroded with an unknown substance. His eyes are unfocused, seeming to swallow everything reflected upon them whole. I know those eyes. I remember Alfred holding me before with those same eyes. Although an outsider will always be an outsider, that doesn't mean Alfred's heart will willingly accept it. Yet, no matter what, humans will always be alone in the end. They will never be able to avoid it, even though they try to compromise with others to keep them in their lives. They'd feel resigned and succumb to despair. These are things I'm aware of. Still, I want to erase those feelings no matter what. So I start to speak. I like being here, there's always someone here, every time I come to the church people will welcome me. Except me. It feels like I've been here for a long time, like all of us are family. Even if this family and this feeling of belonging are temporary. I can't deny that they've existed. Warmth and love. These are all real. I see. The shadows within Alfred's eyes fade little by little. Seeing that, I feel relieved. His hand, which has grown larger than mine, strokes my head shyly. It's like he's asking whether it's okay to touch or not. I return his stare, not moving from where I am. Alfred smiles in relief. Taking in his gentle smiles, I decide it won't be good if this goes on. He shouldn't be looking at me in such a warm way. Perhaps I should correct the course of the story. Alfred and I should not be getting along. We shouldn't be friends that forgive each other. Or else, the plot will derail. Because he won't have a rival anymore. There needs to be a hateful rival whose entire existence motivates Alfred to be stronger. So that he can completely defeat that eyesore. In other words, my role. That's why, I need to hurry up and tell him to stop touching me. I should say something like, can you please stop touching me with your dirty hands, go away, don't come closer, or, I hate someone like you so much. Abuse him. I should give him a look of contempt as I say those hurtful things. Just like how the original Leanne would. But I can't. Even though I want to say these words to the extent that my throat is quivering, those words won't come out. Alfred slowly leans on me. He wraps his outstretched arms around my back, resting his head on the dip of my shoulder, the tips of his golden hair brushing against my nape. That Alfred hugs me tightly, like back then, illustrates that he relies on me, if only a little. I'm aware that if I shake him off now, he will definitely be hurt. So I won't push him away even if that's the right thing to do. No matter what. Alfred's body feels very warm. When he starts to cling to me, I can't seem to find my strength. Hey, what? A moment later, Alfred raises his head until he's staring at me once more. His eyes, so close and so blue, tremble. As I study them, the strength of his hug increases. And then, his lips crash onto mine. NNGH. Why? After pulling the shirt off his back, he releases the kiss. Wah, wait, you, what are you? He's pulled away, but he's close enough where our breaths intermingle. Can I give you some of my magic power? Says Alfred. I feel like I might rampage again. Magic power. So magic power is the cause of it again, huh? I observe Alfred's face. His skin color is normal. He's not even sweating. He also doesn't seem to be in pain. In fact, he looks completely normal. Is his magic power really on the verge of rampaging? Seriously. As I'm trying to diagnose Alfred's current condition, he suddenly flashes me a wry smile. Then he kisses me again. NGH. Pressing his lips hard against my own, he inserts his tongue into the gap. Upon finding my tongue, he gives it a lick, then moves it as if bent on entwining our tongues. A mysterious shiver runs down my back. My body rides out of reflex. He presses down on me with his larger, heavier body. Pins me down. His hands grab onto my flustered shoulder, then my taut hands. I can't escape. He bites my lips like he's trying to eat 'em, his hot tongue caressing the cavern of my mouth. I shiver from the sensation. NNGHUU. What is this? Wait a minute. Is this really? Like how I remembered it in the past, this time I also feel something akin to hot liquor pouring into me. This is Alfred's magic power. Not caring about what I want, his magic power enters my body. Even if its nature is different from mine, it mixes and melts inside my body by its own accord, so much that I'm growing accustomed to it. Even though it is my body, I can't stop Alfred's magic power from entering me. However, the hot sensation circulating through my body feels very pleasurable, and my body grows weak on its own. Inside my mouth, Alfred's tongue moves around as it pleases, mixing our saliva. I can't tell my tongue from Alfred's apart anymore. The saliva accumulates in my mouth, and after I swallow it by accident, my whole body feels numb. The same warmth from drinking hot liquor. Somewhere within my thoughts I know that it shouldn't taste sweet. Yet it does. Without thinking, my tongue also responds, and I'm drawn into the sensation while feeling confused. The way Alfred suddenly shakes indicates he's laughing. Every time our lips and tongue move, I hear wet smacking. Even though I thought I didn't want it, it feels sweet, hot, and somewhat pleasurable. The bed creaks. I suddenly break out of my trance, eyes flying open. Oi oi oi, what the hell am I doing? This isn't the time or place to feel good, alright. Why am I getting carried away? Come back to your senses. I have to keep my composure. Why did I think it feels pleasurable? Get a hold of yourself, Leanne. Wait, wait, wait. Isn't this a little bit? Scolding my body that surrenders without my permission, I summon as much strength as I can to move away. Then I kick Alfred's heel several times. He finally moves his body away, albeit reluctantly. And our lips separate. Alfred, stop, already. This is a little. This feels dangerous in a lot of ways. In a lot of ways. But Alfred only responds, just a little bit more. NHADCH 12.3. He licks his lips, tongue trailing across the saliva. I feel that mysterious shiver once more running down the flat of my back. No, didn't I tell you to stop already? Summoning my remaining strength, I headbutt Alfred's forehead. Ouch. The moment he flinches, the strength pinning me down diminishes. Seizing the opportunity, I pull back my hands, which had been restricted. I shove his heavy body off of me and crawl out of the bed. Then I flash that brat a sideways glance. He's still holding his forehead. Serves him right. What the heck just happened? Seriously, what the heck? Why? Since when did it become like this? Everything happens in a flash. One moment I'm dashing out of the room, and in the other I'm rushing down the stairs. Whoosh, Leanne Sama. Sniff, Leanne Shah. These kids are crying, faces red and wet with tears. Looking at them makes me want to cry too. I'm so confused, and I can't even think at this point. What happened? Why's everyone crying so much? As soon as I reach the bottom of the stairs, they run and cling to me. I'm sorry, Leanne Sama. Alni found us. Alni didn't listen to us when we told him not to take Leanne Sama away. You know, we did our best to hide you. But we failed. I shake my head. No, that's wrong. This is my fault. It was because I was not careful. It's not you guys' fault, so don't worry about it. Don't cry. After I sit on the floor, I hug the kids close to me. Once again, I feel my eyes tearing up. But since he found you, will you not come over anymore? That kind of thing. I scratch my head. No, you'll still come, right? We can play together again. Take a nap together. We see someone stomps on the stairs and I jump with a start. Although I want to run away, the kids cling to me, their heads just reaching my knees. Mind in a frenzy, I freeze. Then from my peripheral vision I see a pair of polished and expensive-looking shoes held toward me. Those are my shoes. Now that I think about it, I didn't put on my shoes before rushing out the room. Currently, only a thin layer of socks separates my feet from the floor. I mean, I was so flustered back then so it couldn't be helped, okay. Your shoes. You left without putting it on. Avoiding his gaze as much as possible, I accept him with trembling hands. Alfred sucks in a breath as if he's relieved, dropping to sit behind me. Sorry. My bad. I overdid it. You really overdid it. Talk about an understatement. You overdid it to the point of being extremely excessive. Transferring magic power. That was more like a deep kiss. No, don't think about it. Stop it. I shouldn't remember that. Damn it. Stupid bastard. Why did you do that? Where did you even learn how to do that, you perverted brat? Kissin', no, just shut up already, brain. Really? Even though I have so much to say, enough to pile up into a mountain, I can't speak. I lost control of myself back then. I apologize. I'm really sorry. It's my fault. Hey, tell me. What should I do so that you'll forgive me? What do you mean you couldn't control yourself? I don't even know where to start in retorting him. It'll probably end poorly either way. That's right. He's 16 years old after all. At that age they're full of rampaging hormones, right? Yes, this must be what they call youth passion. He got lost in the feeling once, and then loses control since he's still young and inexperienced. That's what this is, right? Yes, it must be. Somehow me and Alfred, of all things, have good chemistry, or something. I don't know, but that might explain why it's so easy to find ourselves in that kind of dangerous situation. I just need to be more careful so those things don't happen again. What do I even mean by those things, anyway? UGHH. Really, I'm very sorry. Please tell me what I should do so that you'll accept my apology. He sounds unusually timid, and he feels frail from how he's leaning his forehead against my back. His typical calm and collected attitude is nowhere in sight. Finally, I'm able to calm down, breathing in and out slowly. The kids look up at me, their eyes full of worry and tears. I know that if I just keep silent and sit here, the situation will become unsalvageable. I know this well enough. If I say something like, "I won't forgive you," then we won't have these friendly interactions anymore. But if I do this, these kids will cry even more. It'll be pitiful. Those words are akin to breaking off ties to them all. Alfred, the kids, and Marie. They'll surely hate me after that, and I won't be able to come here again. If I can't come to this place again, then I won't have a place to go to anymore. The thought of it makes me distressed. I still have many improvements to add to the alarm series, and I have to produce many of them for that day. The day the demons will attack. Also, I still have a lot of time until then. So I don't really have to correct the course of events just yet. That's right. I still have time. I'll just fix it later. Everything's alright. After coming to a decision, I'm finally able to think with a cool head. For now, I need to do something about that gloomy guy. But I also don't want to forgive him that easily. I'm still angry, you know. So I decide to give a condition in exchange for my forgiveness. Then, don't tell anyone when I come over from now on. Actually, you're the person who I want to keep it a secret from the most. Since things have reached this point, there's nothing more I can do. My father doesn't know that I come to the church. If he finds out, he'll definitely never let me out of the estate again. This is true. Every time I want to visit the church, I always lie about where I go. Sometimes it's the library. Other times, it's to a school study group. If Leanne's parents and brother find out that Leanne has contact with people from a lower social class, they won't accept it. Probably even lecture him about it, to keep the precious son from being influenced by lower beings. Back then, when I had helped the collapsed Alfred in the streets, my father gave me an earful once we got home. I still remember his yell. It was earth-shattering. He said, "We are the important superiors with many responsibilities. What were you thinking, helping some street urchin like that? Do you want to sully the Owen family's name? Or better yet, this is dishonorable." Or something like that. As if I even know what they're talking about. If they find out I've been lying, they'll definitely come to make a fuss. More so, they may not even leave me outside anymore. I can feel my headaches coming back already. I understand. I won't tell anyone. What else? What else? Please don't do those things anymore. Those things. Like what happened just now. Don't do those things anymore, okay? Do you understand? I understand. I won't do it again. I promise, sir, you will forgive me. I take a breath. Why yes. There's no helping it, right? This kind of situation. Seriously. I can feel Alfred's sigh from relief behind me. Thank you. Then wraps his arms around me in a tight hug. He nuzzles his head on the dip of my shoulder. The tips of his golden locks brush against my nape. It's really ticklish. Hey. You really. Do you even understand what you're doing? I understand. Are you sure? Alni-chan and Leanne Sama, are you two fighting? Nu F White. Nu. The kids clinging to my legs turn their heads, looking up with a cute expression. As if they forgot they had been crying just a few moments ago. Is this fighting? More like Alfred's the one who suddenly pushed me down or something. No. What am I saying? No way. It's really impossible. I mean, it's just that, with those kinds of things happening between me and Alfred, we probably give off the impression of fighting to the kids. It must be that. From the end of the hallway, I see Marie. Our gazes meet, hers filled with concern. We both look like we don't know what to do. Then Marie shoots a gaze at Alfred, before looking at me again. She smiles, cheeks red as apples. Leanne Sama. This is just my opinion, but I think even if course of events to change, it doesn't mean it won't bring about changes for the better. That's why, you don't have to worry that much. It will be okay. Since you are you can't become another person, no matter how hard you try to copy them. That's why, just follow your heart. Whichever path the kind you decides to take, I'm sure will lead to a good conclusion. Those words. They seem oddly familiar. Where have I heard them before? Ah, that's right. From the goddess. That leisurely and fluffy goddess that doesn't contact me. That's right. Yeah, it must be. Marie nods reassuringly. I can feel my strength being drained. Where did you get that kind of confidence? I'm not as nice as some people think, and there's no proof that the future will be fine. With Alfred still hugging me, I feel my stomach hurting and my heart clenching. But along with those unpleasant feelings, I also detect a warm sensation enveloping my body. I heave the biggest sigh of the day. Asterisk asterisk asterisk. Although Alfred found out about my frequent visits to the church, he hasn't discovered the existence of the research and development room. If Alfred sees all these blueprints and research documents of defensive gadgets, he'll definitely start to suspect something. It is clearly suspicious, right? With machines, colorful ores, various liquids, magic-related books, and mountains of papers on structural formulas, even I'll feel suspicious looking at it. I'm not confident I can keep this from Alfred for long. Therefore, I will continue to rely on the kid's big brother Al's schedule investigation. Well, since he has his part-time job on the weekend, I won't really see him that often. However, sometimes I come across him in the morning or when he arrives home. Like today. Just as the sun is about to set, I bump into Alfred at the church gate on his way back from his shift. Leanne, are you going home? Ah, yeah, I see. Wait a minute. Alfred's holding 2 large paper bags in his arms, and when I'm about to retort, I hear a rustle. What is he doing? I stare at him. Alfred pulls out something from the bag. Something round and thin. The standard junk food, potato chips. This is pea potato chips. This is something I'm not allowed to eat in Leon's family, something that you must take caution of since you can't stop after one piece. I bring a chip to my mouth, and before I know it, I've already bitten into it. The nostalgic crispy food texture and the salty taste fill my mouth. So delicious. Since this is something handmade, there's no taste of MSG. This is delicious. I willfully grab another chip. What is this? So delicious. As I'm chewing, Alfred suddenly lets out a small laugh. Why are you laughing? There's nothing funny here, right? You like it too. What? The cat that often comes by also likes these chips. Ha. How rude. I'm not a cat. I got these from my part-time job just now, since the landlady said she made too much. I also have some for you, but if you don't want it. I want it. Give it to me. In a flash, I grab one of the paper bags from Alfred. Floating from the bag is a delicious scent. I peer into the top. There are a lot of chips inside. I throw another one in my mouth. Ah, what a nostalgic taste. This is the kind of junk food that's hard to stop from eating, right? It's like falling in love. Immersed in nostalgia, I see Alfred's shoulder shaking for some reason. Looks like he's trying to stifle a laugh. Then he pats my hair. What are you laughing at? I jump back quickly. Seriously, stop touching me so suddenly. This is really bad for my heart. I tell him the first half of my thoughts. Ah, my bad, says Alfred. You don't really feel sorry, right, brat? Your eyes are laughing, you know. Then, I will go home now. Thank you for the pea potato chips. Ah, be careful on your way home, Leanne. See you tomorrow. Bye. Alfred sends me off while waving his hand with a smile. Since I'm not sure how to respond, I just hug the paper bag full of chips and take my leave. It's getting harder and harder for me to put up an act these days, how troubling. Rushing home, I sigh to myself, wondering why things have come to this point.